Welcome to Ramblers Go. Welcome to Ramblers Go Dancing, a special edition of Loyola New Chicago covering the Ramblers' run to the Final Four.
Welcome to a special edition of Loyola New Chicago. I'm Henry Redmond.
I'm Claire Philby.
And I'm Haley Spittler. The Loyola men's basketball team won the nation's hearts with their run to the Final Four. The Ramblers began the tournament as an 11 seed, but finished in the top four of 347 Division I basketball teams. The Ramblers used clutch shots from senior Dante Ingram, redshirt junior Clayton Custer, and junior Marcus Towns. The last-second heroics made the Ramblers the Cinderella story of this year's NCAA tournament. The Ramblers became the fourth 11 seed to reach the Final Four, joining VCU, George Mason, and LSU.
Students were some of the team's biggest supporters. Some missed as much school as the players themselves. Some students got a front row view to March Madness without even buying tickets. Loyola's pep band and spirit squads traveled to every game to show their support. That's a lot of class to miss, but luckily for cheerleader Anne Marie and senior drummer Zach Manzella, professors were very understanding.
Teachers were very understanding for missing class. I had a letter from our provost, which excused me from class.
It was fairly easy. The only thing I would say, having in the back of your mind, knowing that you have to make up all this stuff, that's probably the only stressful thing that could have happened.
With finals coming up, it's a good thing everyone is back on campus now.
Loyola's Ramblers are doing more than just boosting school spirit. They're boosting the school's pocketbooks too. A successful sports team can have a huge impact on a school's revenue, rank, and prestige. Making it into March Madness wins a school $1.67 million. Get to the Sweet 16, almost $5 million. Final Four, $8.3. Loyola's increased revenue is not just cash prizes. The school is also seeing an increase in freshman admissions. This is known as the Flutie effect, named after Doug Flutie, a football player who threw an infamous Hail Mary pass in 1984. The Flutie effect results in more admissions for a school when their teams are doing great. Besides the new students, Loyola has also been enjoying a huge increase in merchandise sales. Leading up to the Sweet 16, Loyola merchandise sales were up 500%. One of the most popular items has been the famed Sister Jean bobblehead. It quickly became the best-selling bobblehead for the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum.
Sister Jean is more than just a bobblehead. She's also the star of the NCAA March Madness tournament. Cheryl Wong sat down with America's favorite nun.
The 98-year-old chaplain of the Loyola men's basketball has gained celebrity status, but the fame hasn't gone to her head.
I'm still the same Sister Jean.
Sister Jean's face can now be found on t-shirts, socks, and even a new and improved bobblehead.
I had one in 2011. And now they've upgraded me. They've upgraded my Rambler clothes.
She has even appeared on Good Morning America. As chaplain, Sister Jean prays with the team and fans before each basketball game and says that faith plays an important role in the Ramblers' success.
He asked me when we built Norville if I had favorite words to say. And I said, well, I think my favorite words are worship, work, and win. So you have to pray, you have to practice, and you have to win, and then you can win.
People still can't get enough of Sister Jean, even though the Ramblers' run in the March Madness tournament has ended. Earlier this week, she got to throw the first pitch at the Chicago Cubs' first home game of the season. She said she had many fans there.
And when I got to the gate, everybody wanted a signature. Not a signature, they wanted my picture. And so I waited and had my pictures. And then I got into the park part, and they kept saying, Sister Jean, just the way you do. Yeah, just the way all of you do. And I thought, well, I feel as though I'm right at Loyola.
Sister Jean is loving all the adventures that have come along with the basketball team's success, and she doesn't plan on slowing down anytime soon. Cheryl Huang, Loyola News Chicago.
Sister Jean has been keeping track of her bobblehead sales and said the last time she checked, more than 6,000 have been sold.
Coming up, we'll have a recap of the Ramblers' exciting season that led them to the Final Four.
And we'll tell you how Loyola fans have been celebrating the basketball season far away from Chicago.
think it's from Austin.
Athletic. The Ramblers kicked off the non-conference portion of the regular season on October 28th. During non-conference play, the Ramblers were co-champions of the Savannah Invitational, and they also defeated the then-ranked number 5 Florida Gators. Two key players were injured during non-conference games. Senior guard Ben Richardson broke his hand against UMKC, and redshirt junior guard Clayton Custer suffered an ankle injury against Florida. Overall, the team went 11-2 before kicking off the conference portion of their season. Conference play got off to a rough start, partly due to Custer still being sidelined. They dropped 2 of the first 3 games before going on a 7-game winning streak. They lost to Bradley University on January 31st and did not lose again for the rest of the regular season. They went on to become MVC regular season champions for the first time in program history.
After cutting down the nets in celebration of being MVC regular season champions, the team traveled to St. Louis to compete in the conference tournament. They defeated UNI, Bradley, and Illinois State to become Arch Madness champions for the first time in program history since joining the Valley in 2013. The win guaranteed them a spot in the NCAA tournament.
Loyola headed down to Dallas for the first round of March Madness, where the 11-seed Ramblers faced off against 6-seed University of Miami. The Hurricanes led the entire second half until senior forward Dante Ingram hit a buzzer-beater 3 to keep the Ramblers dancing. They won the game with a final score of 64-62. They faced number 3 seed Tennessee in the next round. While the game got off to a rough start for the Ramblers, they managed to enter the half with a lead. The Volunteers cut the lead in the second half, and it was once again up to last-second heroics in order to get the win. Redshirt junior guard Clayton Custer made a pull-up jumper with 6 seconds left. Loyola won the game with a score of 63-62 to head to the Sweet 16 in Atlanta.
The men's basketball team was in a new city every weekend in March. I talked to freshman center Cameron Krutwig about his experience playing in the big dance. Algonquin native Cameron Krutwig committed to Loyola knowing he'd be playing in Gentile Arena in front of 100 fans consisting of parents and students. Finishing up his first year with the Ramblers, Krutwig has now played on the biggest stage in college basketball. At the Final Four in San Antonio, he played in front of almost 70,000 people. To say this is a change of scenery from a small gym in Jacobs High School is an understatement.
It's an unbelievable experience. It's kind of new to me, obviously, because I've never been here before. But I'm just trying to take everything in that I can and just kind of live in the moment instead of trying to look ahead.
Krutwig said his parents, brother, and the coaching staff at Loyola have helped him transition into college basketball, but nothing can prepare him for playing at the big dance. He says he's confident he's going to make an impact on the men's basketball team.
Coach Moser and the staff, kind of gave me. They said to me, we can do a lot of things with you, and if you come here, you're going to be one of the main parts of our offense and things like that. And obviously, everything that he said is obviously come true. So.
Krutwig can continue to help Loyola's offense in the Sweet 16.
The Ramblers clinched their first Elite Eight appearance since the 1962-63 men's basketball season after a narrow 69-68 win against Nevada. 11th-seeded Loyola secured the win over the 7th-seeded Wolfpack after junior Marcus Towns drained a three-pointer with 7 seconds left. The team's momentum raced on as the Ramblers defeated Kansas State 78-62. Towns and seniors Ben Richardson and Dante Ingram each scored in double digits, sealing the team's spot in the Final Four for the first time in more than 50 years.
It wasn't just all of the city watching and cheering for the Ramblers. The Cinderella story captured the hearts of the country and even the globe. Mark Castillo shows us how the Rambler story spread around the world.
The Rambler's success echoed not only in America but throughout the international scene. Broadcasts and newspapers around the world covered our basketball team and, of course, Sister Jean. The Ramblers were covered from Argentina to UK to France to Germany, to Spain, to Italy, to Czech Republic, and many other countries. Some international students even got news about the Ramblers from home.
It was announced in the Spanish television, and also a professor of my Spanish university uploaded it in the Facebook account.
International students also lived the excitement of the March Madness from the campus in Rome, and those who were here encouraged the team both in the arena and on social media.
I came here to Gentile Arena. It was amazing. I've never experienced something like this before. The way American students celebrate the sports at the university is something that in Europe it doesn't happen.
The first match of March Madness, in which they won for only 1 point, was amazing for me because I felt so proud of being a Loyola student. I felt the colors of my school for the first time.
There is no wonder, Sister Jean said in a press conference, she's an international celebrity, and the Ramblers got plenty of international coverage too. Mark Castillo, Loyola News, Chicago.
A little later, we find out which players stole the most hearts on and off the court.
And next, we discover where the best places near campus were to grab a beer and watch a game.
Let yourself go. Let yourself go. You always come around looking so uptight, scared that you're gonna be impolite. Is this the way you wanna live your life? Please listen to me and see the light. You need to express and free from the stress. Let's leave our regrets and see.
Rogers Park bars and restaurants were popular during the NCAA tournament. Allison Klein shows us two of the most popular bars around the Lakeshore campus.
Bulldogs Ale House is just as much of a fan as the Ramblers as everyone else. They show their support of the Ramblers and followed the team's journey through the March Madness tournament, as did their customers.
We had a heavy influx from outside population as well as alumni, locals from, and also people from the suburbs and outside the city.
Back on campus, Ireland's Pub 10 was another place students chose to watch the tournament. Since the end of the NCAA games, the atmosphere has changed.
More and more students have been able to come down to the space and kind of get acquainted to what it is, although I will say that we haven't had maybe as big of a boost in the amount of people that come here as we'd like to see.
Both Bulldogs and Irelands wonder what business will be like next year if Loyola enters March Madness again. Allison Klein, Loyola News, Chicago.
Lines started several hours ahead to get into Bulldog Ale House at the height of the NCAA tournament.
The Ramblers ended the season ranked number 7 in the USA Today coaches poll, and it looks like they'll be back in the hunt for the MVC title next year. The team will bring back 8 of its 15 players, including MVC Player of the Year Clayton Custer. They will also welcome a transfer and have 3 recruits already committed. Head coach Porter Moser also has 2 roster spots to fill after the transfers of Cameron Satterwhite and Adarius Avery.
While the next season won't kick off until October, the players are still on the minds of a lot of students. I went around campus and found out which player stole the most hearts.
I think that Ben Richardson is the cutest player. I'm definitely an eyes person, and he has really pretty eyes, really kind eyes, and he really puts his all into the game.
In my opinion, my favorite basketball player is a merge of Clay and Ben, which I would like to call Peyton, because they're America's sweetheart and they're the best group of best friends in this country, and their love story will live on forever.
I think Dante Ingram is the cutest. He's in one of my classes and seems super nice, which is really a good quality.
I think Ben Richardson is the cutest because he just has a really good personality and he looks really kind. And on the interviews after the games, he just seemed really sincere.
I think Clayton Custer is the cutest. He has a good smile, pretty eyes, and he seems like he has a good personality from his interviews.
Marcus Towns, just his eyes just have a weight in my heart. I just like when I look at them, they're just it's like an ocean on a sunrise.
I find Ben Richardson the cutest just because he's cute and good at basketball.
I think there's a lot of good options there. I'm personally also a fan of Peyton.
I'm a Dante Ingram guy myself. So we got the opportunity to cover the NCAA tournament on every stop along the way, and I think we all agree it was pretty amazing.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely was. It's a great experience.
That is it for our special edition of Loyola News Chicago.
An ode to the fantastic season that has brought so much pride and joy to Loyola, the Loyola community, we have compiled some photos from the season. I hope you enjoy.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I aim to be one of few rather than one of many. The desire to be legendary. I do whatever that's truly necessary. This is a revolution, I'm revolutionary. I got that fire in my belly, I'm ready. Even if baggage may be too heavy to carry. Go ahead and throw any challenges at me. They ain't no stopping me until I'm 6 foot under and buried.